thoroughly entertaining game for our first pre-season fixture of the new season. 5-3 to Manchester City. We got to see two pretty much full, completely different teams play, which was wonderful. Some new faces, some old faces. It was a very enjoyable afternoon of football. I'm still in the studio with Paul Dickov, David James, and with Keith Curle. Keith, what did you make of that 90 minutes of football?
Oh, excellent for what you're looking for from your first pre-season game. Good tempo, showed little bits of the rhythm that he's looking for, but ultimately it's minutes, potentially no injuries within the game as well. Competitive game.
5-3 scoreline there. We had to double check with each other what the score was at the end there, David. Lots of goals today. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I think it was a wonderful game of football to watch. I know, obviously, it is pre-season, but there was, as Keith said, some moments in there. The fact that there were essentially two completely different sides. And I said at the start of that second half, this second half team looked more like a first team than the first half, if that's fair to say. And that man there, I think his third touch was a goal and his fourth touch was a goal, because I can't remember him touching in between. So, yeah, I think all the City fans around the world will be delighted that Erling Haaland knows how to find the back of the net. straight away, straight back into it. They're guzzling their water there. It must be super, super hot in Tokyo. Oh, that is John Stones. Oh, that looks like maybe we might get an interview with John Stones. If we do, of course, we will bring that to you straight away, because he's standing there in front of the interview board. So we'll let you know, of course, John Stones with the goal in the first half. We will be showing you all of the goals from the game again in just a moment. 8 goals to get through to show you. Did you enjoy your first game of the new season, Paul?
Yeah, I loved it. And like the guy said, good workout, minutes under the belt, no injuries. That's all you want from pre-season games. I think what David said there, I think the team that started the second half, especially the first 20 minutes, the intensity, a lot more quality, especially the midfield three, with Rodri, Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden in there. Just so much more energy, a bit more quality in it as well. And obviously scored 2 quick goals, which we thought put the game to bed, and then there was another goal and then another goal. But I love that way Erling Haaland did. It's a pre-season game. He's had 45 minutes, and he's really annoyed that he's not got a hat-trick. And it just shows you the mentality he got. He wants to score as many goals as he can. It doesn't care what game it is, where it is, how many minutes he's on the pitch. That mentality of just he wants goals and more goals.
Can only imagine how big he's not got a shelf for his trophies now, has he? He's got an entire dedicated room
for a house.
By the end of his career, he's going to need a mansion for all of those trophies and hat-trick balls. Right, we're going to talk you through all of the 8 goals. At half-time, we did go into detail on the first half goals, but let's have a quick look at them again in case you haven't seen them yet. So, considering there was 8 goals, the first goal didn't come until the 28th minute. It came for Lopez, the Brazilian player. You can see here he was involved in the start of it. He then goes on, he makes the run here, and he takes the shot, and then he's got the reactions quick enough to follow up with the goal. And at this point, slightly against the run of play at this point, David.
Yeah, and as we'll see with the remaining goals, especially the goals that Yokohama scored, City had got all the possession. Most of the team were in the Yokohama half. The second goal similar. Most of the team are in the half, and there's a lot of space in behind. And I actually love this ball. He doesn't look up. The player's got the opportunity. He could take a touch, but a side foot from just outside the box. Ortega has got literally no chance, because the quality of the finish, the quality of the cross, and the quality of the finish.
So it was 2-0 at this point to Yokohama, but then of course we come back with the first goal of the season from Johnny Stones. I'm saying first goal of the season because I'm convinced that he's going to get he might get into double figures this season. Who knows, John Stones? So beautiful team goal here. I love how many different players were involved. Starting from this moment, going out to Cole Palmer, who I thought had a brilliant first 45 minutes, to Kyle Walker, to Julian Alvarez before John Stones finishes it. And we said, Paul, you'd love to have this finish in your locker, eh?
Yeah, I didn't have that finish in my locker at any time. So, but yeah, look, great ball. We said at half time, but we see City do that a lot, where Jack draws 2 or 3 players in, switch it out the other side. Cole Palmer, he was excellent in the first half, probably one of our better players. And Alvarez does great here. And what a finish that is. That's your centre half. Or is he a centre half, or is he a midfielder?
It's just on the bounce as well.
Yeah. Oh, composure, great technique, and what a finish by a top player.
So that's 2-1. We're moving on to City's second goal here. Special mention, of course, to Calvin Phillips for the pounce, for the reactions, and a lovely finish from Juleon Alvarez, Keith.
Yeah, excellent. Again, pressing the goalkeeper, making him make a mistake, and then a good finish. But as I say, Calvin Phillips there, that's the unselfish work. You're not going to get the ball, but you're going to make them make a mistake.
Absolutely. So we go on into the second half, and this goal for Erling Haaland comes in the 51st minute. So 6 minutes he's been on the pitch. David thinks maybe his second or third touch, and he's already back scoring again. Just does it naturally, Paul?
It does, but it's his second touch that sets him up for it. And a great ball in from Phil. And his first touch takes him away, but then he has another little touch before he puts it back across. And nothing surprises you with him. It's what you come to expect.
And then the next goal for City in the second half. It's City's fourth goal. Rodri, you love him, eh, David?
Everything about this again is so City. I mean, Rodri puts himself in a position to receive the ball. If you look at Erling Haaland, if we see it from behind, Erling Haaland's run just from the left to the right takes the defender, and that half step just opens up the space for it's a pass. It's not even a smash. It's a pass into the bottom of the net. Goalkeeper again, no chance, and Pep looks happy.
Great. That's all we want. A bit of a consolation goal here for Yokohama to get their third, to make it 4-3 at this point. Little bit of miscommunication there, Keith. Yeah,
that's what I was chatting to David about. Did the goalkeeper need to come out and make that decision? Understand why he's done, but you think that's a very high line. You're only about 8 yards away from the ball, and you're inviting and getting involved in a race, which defending wise you don't need to. Not when you're 8 yards away from the ball. Drop out, keep playing in front of you. Takes that decision making out for the defenders and goalkeeper.
Now, if anyone had any nerves at this point at 4-3 that City might not get a win for the first pre-season friendly, Erling Haaland manages, as always, to settle those nerves. His second goal of the game. David thinks maybe his fifth or sixth touch. Who's counting, eh? 2 goals is the stat that matters. And he comes in here, slots it away. Lovely, lovely ball from João Cancelo. A little bit of a reminder of what he can do. And a beautiful finish there at the far post for Erling Haaland. Second goal in 45 minutes. Second goal of goodness knows how many he might get this season. And that was to make it 5-3 to Manchester City. So Erling Haaland, 45 minutes, man of the match performance for him. There he is, receiving his man of the match. Massive thing. What are we calling that? Certificate? Do you think he'll put that up on the wall of his house? Maybe. Well done he's signing it. Well done to Erling Haaland. 45 minutes, and he gets the man of the match trophy. It's not a trophy. Massive big cardboard poster thing. Congratulations to him. All right, FG has been watching the game out in Japan's National Stadium. He's been pitch side. He's been getting all of the action close up. Oh, there is a real trophy. So this is the trophy presentation. Before we go to FG, we're just going to have a little look at this trophy presentation. A beautiful gold plate there that's going to be presented to Manchester City, and that is going to be handed across now to Kyle Walker, who was of course captain in the first half, picking up another trophy, another one of Kyle Walker's endless number of trophies that he's received at this club. And that is a really beautiful plate that he seems to be getting there. He's calling his teammates in, he's saying, come and enjoy this. He's like, it's 40 days since we last lifted a trophy. Let's lift another one, shall we, boys? And hopefully that'll be the first of many, many trophies that we will receive this season. And the players are all gathering around. Oh, are they going to do a trophy lift? Oh, please tell me they're going to do a trophy lift. Oh, we're going to get a trophy lift. Hold on, FG, you're going to have to wait. I want to see a trophy lift. Okay, there we go. Who's getting goosebumps? Are they going to do it? Oh, they're posing for a picture. I thought we were about to get away. Right. Oh, no, we are. Kyle's going to do it. Whee! Right, let's head over to FG, who's pitch side.
Hello and welcome back to the National Stadium here in Japan. Shaun, Wright-Phillips, Joleon, Lescott. That was a game full of goals, full of action. Good performance, good result in the end.
Yeah, very good. Obviously entertaining for the fans, which is the main thing. But lads, they got some good reps in there and a lot more rhythm than I anticipated, to be fair. Obviously, first half was totally different to the second, domination, but overall a great performance.
You can see behind us the players are doing a lap of honour. They absolutely, of course, like the people watching around the world, love Erling Haaland. And he got 2 goals in the second half. But let's go to the first half first. Let's talk about the 2 goals we conceded early on. From a defensive point of view, we'll be a little bit disappointed.
You always are when you concede goals. But again, like I said, it's also important to recognise it's not just about rhythm and offensive or attacking positions. It's also recognising and getting our covers out defensively. And that's what happened in the first half. But obviously, we're always going to score goals, so it's going to be difficult to teams to outscore us, never mind just conceding.
And a goal from John Stones, Shaun. A goal any attacker will be proud of. A great finish.
It's a fantastic finish. I think it was great hold-up play as well by Alvarez in the box, and the way he laid the ball off was perfect. It was set up nicely for John Stones to hit, but it's the way he hit it. He put it where in between 2 defenders and in that top corner. It's fantastic from him. He just keeps getting better and better, doesn't he?
And then, of course, Alvarez did get one back. And then into the second half, the tempo changed, Joleon, in the second half. It was a lot more of a higher tempo, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say the tempo, I just say the domination. I just think there was a lot more fluidity in there. Obviously, it was a recognised midfield rather than, say, 3 newbies, relatively new in the first half, playing together. So, yeah, you expect there to be more rhythm and more understanding. But, yeah, the second half was a lot different.
Let's talk about Oscar Bob, Shaun. A good performance from him, a nice start to pre-season for him, and a good opportunity.
Yeah, I thought in a way he was brilliant. I'd like to see him get at defenders a little bit more, because I feel like he's got that in his game to move them around. But when he did square him up, he tried to always pick out the right pass and make the right decision, which for a young kid in the first team is a fantastic start. So you can only see him getting better and better and growing in confidence even more.
And let's finally finish off with the man we were talking about for the whole of last season. And we're starting the season off again. Speaking about him again, he doesn't need any introduction.
Oh, definitely not. Obviously, if you give him the opportunities to score, and sometimes not real opportunities like half ones, he will convert. And the second goal, especially, João Cancelo, great pass, recognised, and kind of forced him to make that run. But Erling Haaland, we've seen even when he wasn't getting the ball, he was continuously making movements to receive. And yeah, if he plays like that, I know it's only pre-season, I'm sure there's a lot more goals to come.
Let's just touch on the atmosphere in the stadium. It was an absolutely special atmosphere. We've obviously got the Bayern Munich game to come, but everyone's still in their seats. They're appreciating what they've seen. It's great to be back in Tokyo, isn't it?
It's been a great turnout. I think even before the game, they were here like 3-4 hours before the game even kicked off, queuing up to see the trophies at the fan zone. And then they were in the stadium earlier as well. I don't know whether it was to hide from the sun, but they were here in full force. And I thought the Yokohama fans were amazing. They've been singing and you can still hear them now. So it was a great atmosphere all around.
A great atmosphere, a great night, a great result for us. We're going to head back to the studio. I think we've got to go and explore Tokyo now. So we'll be back on Tuesday for Pitchside. Remember, if you're watching on City Plus or Recast, this is the place to find all of us. So we will see you soon. Back to the studio.
Thank you so much to FG and to Shaun Wright-Phillips and to Joleon and Lescott doing a cracking job out there in Tokyo. I don't know about you all, but cannot wait for Tuesday's pre-match show to find out what Joleon Lescott's going to be wearing because he's been absolutely pulling out the outfits so far. If you didn't see yesterday's pre-match show, you need to go and watch that one as well. But big thank you to the guys out there in Tokyo. Looks like a cracking atmosphere out there, by the way, Paul. I love it when we're going there and we're hearing the roar of the fans in the background, and you know all about how credible the fans are around the world, but that looked phenomenal.
Yeah, especially in Asia. You know, I was out in 2019. That was at Yokohama's own stadium, not the Olympic Stadium, and the atmosphere was insane. Like the guys were saying there, 2-3 hours before the game, they're all in there. They love their football. They're so passionate about it, and you know, Manchester City fans everywhere. The support's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger every time we go away somewhere else. It's growing, and you know, the team keeps producing. But it'd be great for the Japanese fans to have the team there, you know, to see them, because the fans, David O'Neill, after being out in India, they'll never get the opportunity to come here and watch a Premier League game. So the fact that teams are going out there and they're getting the opportunity to see the trophies, see the players, see the management, it's huge for them.
I love the little trophy lift there as well. They're just it just shows the players are having fun, doesn't it?
It does, but because of Manchester City's continued success, you know, it's pre-season, you have to practice stuff for the real season.
Right.
I like that. They're getting the practice in now, Keith, obviously, in the hope that there might be a few more lifted this season.
Yeah, I think there will be a few more lifted. Again, I think it's a sign of respect as well that, like Carl said, getting all the players together, celebrating the win. It shows a mark of respect that I think is vitally important. When you're creating that winning mentality, is one of those. Still be respectful with it.
Absolutely.
I think there is one. I'll just touch on what Paul said there. Because these fans, most of them won't come to England to see Manchester City play at home or anywhere. the fact that City put out all their players and put on a performance.
Yeah.
Erling Haaland scores his trademark goals. That is the bit that Keith is adding to there, that the players has actually seen a Man City side do what they do, even with the trophy lift at the end. So anyone who was in that stadium has been given a wonderful opportunity to see it firsthand, and everyone who's watching on here or on City Plus has got to see Man City do what they do.
Absolutely, and we can see the players there taking the time after the game to go around and sign as many shirts as they can, although I imagine that they could probably be there all night long with the amount of people that were in there. A very happy and smiling Pep Guardiola, who looks like he's very much enjoying this Asian tour. There's Aymeric Laporte. That is a long line of autograph hunters.
It shouldn't be underestimated, that though.
Yeah.
You know what they're doing, and what Keith said, and David saying, it's a mark of respect, not just for going out there, but for the fans that have turned up as well, because they'll remember that forever, because that might never happen for them again.
I love the fact that they're just, they're all in it, they're in a line, and here we go, Calvin Phillips. All of the players out there showing their gratitude to all of our fans out in Asia who came out. A sellout game today at Japan's National Stadium. I imagine Erling Haaland getting very, very popular down there. 2 goals for Erling Haaland in that second 45 minutes. Of course, if you didn't get to see the game today, it was available on City Plus and Recast, as are all 3 of our pre-season games. You can watch it all back as well if you didn't get a chance. In about 30 minutes, that'll be available to watch back on City Plus. And then don't forget, you'll get the Bayern Munich game on Wednesday, and then next Sunday our game against Atletico Madrid in Seoul. They're all available on City Plus and on Recast. And of course, they get you pretty much build up here on Matchday Live. I'll be back in the studio with you on Wednesday as well. There's João Cancelo signing with that lovely assist for Erling Haaland that he got there in the second half. We can see Ruben Diaz there. I love this, they're just really taking the time. Now, in very, very shortly, we are going to be hearing from John Stones as well. Of course, John Stones, who got a goal there in the first half. We'll be hearing what his thoughts were about that first 45 minutes. There's Manu Akanji coming up, and a newly haircutted Bernardo Silva. Right, we've got him. Let's go. Let's hear what John Stones had to say after the game.
With us, John Stones with us. You have won this match. How do you feel right now?
Yeah, very happy that we're here. We won the game, and it's great fitness for us. Playing against a great team, all due respect to them, and really happy.
はい、とても嬉しく思っております。そして、このような場にいてですね、あのような素晴らしいチームと対戦することができてとても嬉しく思っております。
今日は少しビハインドを背負って追いかける展開となりました。あの時ピッチ内では選手たちどんな声をかけていたんでしょうか。
Actually, at the beginning of the match, you were led by Marinos by 2 goals, and then you had to catch up. But what was the communication within the team in order to motivate yourselves and catch up?
I think we've had 4 days now, maybe, to training together as a full team, and it was great for us to play against such a good team and in difficult conditions to what we used to, and obviously to concede two goals in the first half wasn't ideal for us, but I think how we reacted and came back from that shows our true qualities as a team.
はい、まだトレーニング4日間していない状況の中で、あんまり状態の整わない条件の整わない中での試合となりました。そして前半ですね、2点リードというような状況になりましたけれども、そこに対してはチームとしてうまく対応できたというふうに思っております。そしてチームとしてのですね、クオリティを示すことができたというふうに思っています。
そのクオリティを示すという意味では、ストーンズ選手のナイスゴールもあって、最終的にはしっかりと勝利することになりました。で、この6万人超えるファンサポーターの前での試合となりました。どんな風に感じていましたか。
In terms of demonstrating your quality to the Japanese team and Japanese people here, I think you did a great job. You scored a goal, and also the team won in the end with the match. And you have been playing in front of more than 60,000 people today. So how did it feel like?
Yeah, amazing. My second time here, and it's even better than the first time, so I just want to thank, on behalf of everyone from Man City, thank you for everyone turning out today, and we really appreciate your support.
本当にアメージングな経験となりました。私実は日本で試合するの2回目なんですけれども、初回よりも今回よりワクワクしました。本当に皆さん温かい応援ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。ジョン・ストーンズ選手でした。Thank you so much.
And that was the thoughts of John Stones just after the game. Now we can also hear from Oscar Bob. He'll be with us in just a second. Of course, he played in the second half there. Really good second half performance from him. He was involved in both the goals, energetic. And of course, we said before the game, these pre-season friendlies for me, particularly exciting to see the young players, to see them get an opportunity. So let's hear the thoughts of Oscar Bob.
Oscar, a really entertaining game. How did you find that one?
It was good to get the win. First game back, it was a bit tough coming on. I can't say it was easy because I felt it was quite tough, but I think everyone's happy to get the win and obviously get the season started.
Yokohama, obviously, they're in mid-season, so they're maybe a bit fitter, a bit sharper than we are. Was that in some ways the perfect kind of first pre-season game for us?
Yes, I think so. Against a very good team, good challenge, and that's who you want to play.
And what about your own performance? You got on the ball plenty and tried to create. Do you feel happy with how you played out there?
Well, not really, not today, but keep going, keep training, and that's new opportunities come.
Talk to me about training out here, because obviously you're with the first team. What's the level like, and how much you enjoying being around the boys?
Well, I guess it's the best in the world. So yes, they're very nice, all of them, and the best sessions you can get. So I'm really happy to be here.
And what about the reaction we've had in Japan? I mean, the fans are kind of crazy for us, and a full stadium again tonight. I mean, that must be great for our squad to get a reception like that.
Yeah, I think it just shows how big the club is. Literally thousands of fans we've seen. There's so many outside the hotel. The people are so nice, and a great country.
And looking ahead, just one last question. Looking ahead to the Bayern Munich game, you'll be hopefully trying to get on the pitch for that one, and keep your fitness high and show the manager what you can do.
Yeah. It will be exciting against one of the best teams in the world. So I think everyone's looking forward to it.
Oscar, well played. Thanks very much.
You. Cheers, guys.
Well played. Appreciate it. Brian, text me.
So that was the thoughts of Oscar Bob following today's 5-3 victory against Yokohama. There is Kevin De Bruyne. He didn't get on the pitch today, of course. Picked up that knock in the Champions League final, which he is still recovering from, although he was on the bench. So that sends some very positive signs for me. Paul, I think everybody out there and all of us would love to see him if he's fit enough to get the opportunity against Bayern Munich.
Absolutely, but I don't think he's actually trained yet. I think he's been doing a little bit of light work, working with the physios. Look, as long as he's fit for the start of the season, I think that's all that matters. Huge player, best player in the world for me last season towards the end, and when they first done it in the Champions League final, they were saying that he might miss the start of the season. But I think the fact he's actually went on tour and is starting to do a little bit of work already is a huge positive.
And getting a little high five there, I love that. That little one has no idea how lucky they are right now getting that high five off Kevin De Bruyne. A line of fans out in Tokyo still getting selfies and pictures with all of the players. We'll be back on Wednesday for Bayern Munich. They might still be there signing things. She's got a little signature as well. Absolutely love that. Interesting interview there from Oscar Bob, I thought. I thought he had a really good 45 minutes, but he didn't seem that impressed with himself.
I thought he'd done really well. I thought James McAtee, Cole Palmer in the first half, and then Oscar Bob in the second half. I thought he was excellent. I think Shaun touched on it. When you see him play for the EDS team, he is usually a lot more positive. When he's getting in one-on-one positions, he drives at people, goes inside, goes out. Maybe he was just a little bit too careful when he had the ball, but that's what Pep wants from his wide players. He doesn't want them losing it. He's drawn people in. But I thought he'd done really well. Maybe a little bit harsh on himself there, but you don't mind that. Everybody else thinks he's done well. He's been a bit hard on himself, which means that he wants to get better, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I think Paul mentioned there all the young players, Keith. I think all, James, Oscar Bob, Cole Palmer, they've all done themselves well today.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's not only about what they do on the pitch. I think being involved in the culture in and around the travelling football party, massively important to them. And then when they get an opportunity to express themselves, and whether that's on a game day or whether that's in training through the week, vital time for them now, because this is the time where they're under the spotlight in front of the manager, and they've got to use this time wisely. And it's not only about what you do in games and in training. It's also then how you conduct yourself. After the game, they're going around signing all the autographs, spending your time. That's creating a culture within the football club that this is what we do. Even so, if you're a young player, new players coming in, this is what we do. This is how we conduct ourselves. We're good human beings, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely, I think that is something the club would absolutely concur with. The players, good people at the heart as well, of course. So Wednesday is our next pre-season friendly. We will be taking on Bayern Munich. That is an 11:30 a.m. kickoff UK time. Of course, Matchday Live will be here with you from about an hour before, and then you'll get the full game available on City Plus and Recast. That's a serious pre-season friendly. Of course, we played them last year as well, David. I'm really looking forward to that one. We've had some cracking games against Bayern Munich over the years.
Absolutely, yeah. I did joke that it'd be interesting to see if João Cancelo plays half for each team, but that was a joke. It was a joke. I think this will be another step up. Yokohama obviously put some good form in at the beginning of that game just now. But I think with Bayern Munich, it'll be another step up, which is what you need, isn't it? That little progression, step by step. Just touching on Oscar Bob, I thought he was fantastic. I think he didn't have to do any more. And again, these are using pre-season for fitness is one thing, getting sort of familiar with each other. But you touched on Rico Lewis from last pre-season. Oscar Bob just stepped in there, looked like he'd been playing that team all the time without having to do anything more. Got involved in both goals. For Pep Guardiola, I'll be looking at Bayern Munich and thinking, because it's another step up, how much game time do I give him? Do I see if his post-match interview could be a little bit more upbeat, granted, but I think, do I give him that extra bit just to see if he's ready for my Premier League squad going into the season? Good performance, very good performance.
The Bayern Munich game on Wednesday, always interesting when we play them. I just had a quick look to see how their pre-season's gone so far, Paul. I don't know if you saw, but they played their first pre-season game just gone. They played a local team in Germany. And would you like to guess what the score was?
What, 20-0 or something?
27-0.
I was joking there as well.
27-0. A local German side, and it might have been a local German side they were playing, but they put all the team out. They put the first teamers out. They wanted them out there. Serge Gnabry got a hat trick in the game. Sadio Mane scored and played. Kingsley Coman scored and played. They were putting their players out. They're taking it seriously, I can tell already, for Wednesday.
They will do. It's like David said, it's that next level again, isn't it? Just mentioned a few names there. Leroy Sané, who we all know. They're a top team. But it's feeling your way into pre-season again. You want to. The main thing is, the Community Shield in a couple of weeks' time. Then the Burnley game 2 weeks on Friday. As long as they're ready for that, but they won't want to come out of the Bayern Munich game getting beat, and vice versa.
There's so many connections, so many stories of us and Bayern Munich linked together as well. You mentioned Leroy Sané there as well. He's so loved by City fans. Whenever we play them, whenever we see them, City fans get so excited. But they're a team full of stars, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. It'd be a good test. And again, probably at the right time. But again, I don't really see the value in playing a game when you're winning 27-0 as a pre-season value. You think like the Yokohama game today, but much more value you would have thought. But confidence-wise, excellent 27-0. Were
they just doing it for fitness then, do you think? Just to doing it for a run-around?
Again, it might have been a community thing. It might have been something, because you said it was a local team, might have been a fundraiser, it might have been a case of, we're bringing our stars. Excellent. But the scoreline there, you're thinking, it's probably just purely about minutes.
27-0 run-around. I think they'd have been sprinting down one end, scoring, and sprinting back to get in positions for the centre to be taken.
You'd like to be the goalkeeper where you concede 27 goals.
I think they made 5 subs. Maybe John Stones was in goal.
Talking about subs, are you expecting in that Bayern Munich game to see as many players as played today again for City, or when will we start to see a more settled 11?
I think, considering the game's so close, I think it will be very similar with regards to lots of changes. It just might depend or differ on the amount of time each player gets. Maybe some will get the 60 minutes that Shaun Wright-Phillips was talking about. I think Bernardo Silva would like a little bit more than 20 minutes, perhaps. But yeah, the one thing is that it's not just Pep and what he wants. You have the sports science team out there, and they will be saying this player needs a little bit more here and there and everything. As Dickov said there, in the end, the season's not far away, and therefore everyone has to be perfect for the first game of the season. And yeah, as long as Oscar Bob plays,
he'll be fine.
I think he could be the player for the season.
Hold on, have you got a new favourite? Are you dubbing Phil Foden?
It's interesting. The young James McAtee comes in. He did some good things. It was a wonderful cross. We all know what the other lads can do, the likes of Rico Lewis. But Oscar just was in there doing very, very well without having to be noticed. And I think, as I say, the one thing about Manchester City, Erling Haaland scores loads of goals, but it's just that someone will do something rather than someone has to do something. And I think Oscar Bob did what he needed to do in 45 minutes to say to Pep, 20 years old and I'm ready.
Okay, let's find out on Wednesday. I like that, David. Thank you so much, Shaun. Thank you, Keith, for your debut today. Will you come and join us again? Was it okay?
Yes, definitely. Very much enjoyed it. Alongside, I say, being alongside former professionals that I've played against many a time as well. It's nice to be here and talking football and goalkeeping with David.
Goalkeepers Union, of course, yes. David, thank you very much for joining us, as always. Thank you for always doing your prep and coming up with some crazy mad stats that no one else thought of. Mr. Dickov, thank you for your company.
Thank you, as always.
As always. Thank you for joining us on Matchday Live today. Shout out to FG, to Shaun Wright-Phillips, to Joleon Lescott out in Tokyo. Enjoy your week. Get yourself onto all of City's social channels to catch up with the City on Tour daily show. I need to get on that because you tell me Rico Lewis was playing darts on there, and that's the sort of content I need in my life. So make sure you catch up with City on Tour daily. We'll be back on Tuesday night or Tuesday day for the pre-show, Pitchside Live, and then Wednesday for Matchday Live, about an hour before kick-off, before we play Bayern. Of course, then you'll get that on City Plus and on Recast. Thank you so much for joining us. City have won their first pre-season game and their first trophy of the season. Hey, I'm calling it a trophy. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Bruyne checks back onto his left foot. Rodri, maybe a shooting chance, tries it, scores!